Welcome back to A Day in My Life. It's been a minute, it's been a while, but thank you so much for being here. I genuinely appreciate it so much. Life has been hard lately for me. I feel like I'm just kind of getting back into routine, if that makes sense. Nothing can really prepare you for experiences you go through in your 20s, like breakups, losing a loved one, moving cities, unemployment. And yeah, this was my first experience of losing a job. Hear me out. It is one thing to be unemployed, it is another thing to be unemployed when living alone in a foreign country.
I didn't know that was the start of a relationship. So when I messed up, I feared that I disqualified myself from God's love.
I have been living alone in the UAE for 5 years now, and about 2 years ago I moved from Abu Dhabi to Dubai. And life after graduation has been a bumpy ride, and I'm learning some highly valuable lessons in my 20s. Okay, so I'm actually gonna head out now. I was filming, so it's kind of late. This is 6:13. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how hot it is. Wait a second, let me just check, because hopefully it's not too bad and I can come back by 7:30. Oh god. Oh, we are at 28 degrees, bro. Look, it hits 45 right now. It hits 45. Okay, highest today is 38. All right, I think I'm good. I think I can be back in time and not burn outside. I think I'll be fine. Anyways, let's go. As I was saying, this was my first time being unemployed, funemployed, whatever it means to be employed. And initially, I didn't really know how to feel about it. I was embarrassed, I was angry. I didn't really see it as like a blessing, you know. Some people, when they get fired, they're like, oh yeah, this is a blessing. But for me, I was like, yo, this sucks. Now that I have been through the experience, however, I have a few things to say. First things first, as cliche as it is and as cliche as it sounds, every rejection is a redirection, thank God. Sometimes, although we have outgrown a space or potentially we're not really the right fit for a space, we make comfort or the idea of familiarity kind of hold us back. And as a result, an external force, something has to come to take you out. Okay, let me stop. Anyways, guys, welcome back to this channel. I literally was having breakfast and watching Abbott Elementary. I told myself I'm gonna have a nap for 10 minutes. Why did I wake up an hour later? I have no idea. It's 12 currently, and I have a few things to do. I have a bit to do, but I wanted to address the elephant in the room. I've been off this channel for like 6 months, and one reason is probably because I just needed some time just to recalibrate. But the biggest reason is that life has just been lifing. I know I really am trying to not let life and situations affect my mood and my motivation and but sometimes it does. Like last year, end October, early November, I lost my job, and that was like insane. Like I'm living alone in another country by myself, and I lost my job, and I said, wait a second. So I had no idea what I was gonna whether I was gonna leave or stay, and I was just like low-key stressed about that. But God is good, and I'm now working another job. I really like my team. I'm also doing mentorship at Crimson Education. So I've been a bit busy, and I've just been trying to find like a balance between everything. So I just didn't really prioritize like my own channel or like my creativity, which is really bad. And I'm like, I need to get back into it, and this is something I love to do. So I don't want it to feel like I just completely left it, you know, or like I just don't prioritize it, because I really do, and I've always loved YouTube. So let's not do that again. Let's not take a 6 months break again. Why are you doing that? Why? Like, it has been a bit stressful, but thank God everything is starting to get better, and I'm really grateful for that. I also traveled in January. I went back home to London for like a month. That was really good. I was there for Christmas, and then I came back. I got super sick. When I came back, I got really sick, and I also got this like weird reaction. Like it wasn't chickenpox, but like it was like this weird allergic reaction. It was just weird. I was like, okay, right? I was like, this is just completely fine. This is just completely But yeah, I've been slowly trying to get back into routine, and like this whole week I've been waking up before 6 a.m. because I felt like I was mostly drifting through life rather than like taking control of it. So I was kind of making my emotions and feelings get the best out of me. But yeah, I think the problem hasn't necessarily been motivation, but consistency. Consistency. I feel like I'm a motivated-ish person. I think I'm more of a good motivational person, like in terms of motivating other people compared to motivating myself. I can motivate an ant. You know, I can motivate a brick wall. I can motivate a Toyota to turn into a Bugatti. Like I can motivate somebody. But when it comes to me, it's like, are you a fraud, bro? Like, why are you always doing all of this talking and then none of this doing? So honestly, I'm really trying to build this 5 a.m. routine where like I'm focused and I'm locked in. And the first thing I'm doing is like journaling, prayer, gym, and then when I can lock into that and show myself that I can actually do it, it makes the rest of the tasks that I have to do in a day a lot easier to do. But enough yapping, I'm about to start doing some work. So with that, cue the B-roll. I've been really fighting to get back into control of my life. And although I recorded this video about a month ago, I finally sat down and decided that I actually want to put this out into the world and that hopefully it can help somebody in a similar situation. Which brings me into my next point, and that is make space for your creativity. Do what you can with your hands. During this time, I needed to make some money, and so I found people and I showed them the skills I had. In this case, I was doing graphic design literally for the first time ever professionally. I was designing email marketing campaigns and I literally learned to do it in one day. I messaged a lady on LinkedIn because I saw that she was hiring, and literally the next day we were in a cafe talking about the strategy. So I guess my biggest takeaway is that we have so many skills that we don't even realize that we have, and that at any moment we can literally learn to do something new. It's daunting, it's scary, but it's possible. It really is. Next, this is on a more practical note, but you need to know your rights. And this was the first time I actually understood the power of a contract. The first thing you should do in a situation like a layoff or getting let go or getting fired is to go straight to your contract and make sure that all of the guidelines have been rightfully followed and that you are receiving all of your benefits before you leave the company. This honestly saved me so much during my situation because you can't just rely on somebody's words, but instead go straight into the writing and see exactly what you need to do and exactly how things are supposed to be before you leave the company. My last point is you have to stay active and learn to get vulnerable with people you can trust. Staying active did a few things for me. For example, going to the gym kept me mentally strong on days where I just didn't feel that motivated. My next point of getting vulnerable and sharing your situation with people is really impactful because it allows space for advice and a new perspective, and potentially one conversation may lead to a new opportunity. I remember a lot of people reaching out to me during this time because I let them know I didn't have a job and I kept it real, and this kind of led me to a lot of freelance gigs outside of like the graphic design job I was doing. I also saw that some people are just doing their own thing and taking risks and starting businesses, and that was highly motivating and just showed me that this is something I could also do in the future. Anyways, I think that's enough yapping for today. I hope nobody has to go through a layoff or termination or getting fired, but life is unpredictable and these things do happen. But despite that, getting fired or getting laid off is not the end of your story. It is instead an amazing opportunity to discover something new, to discover your greatness, and thank God for all of these things that work for our good. Alright, peace.